What's up, all my YouTube gardening friends and crafting friends? So, y'all know how I love volunteers. Well, this year I got some more volunteers. I just planted some of them. So these are some tomatoes. Some of them are gonna be beefsteak tomatoes. Some of them, one of them was like a beefsteak, and another one was a big boy slicing tomato. And then also some of them are going to be my little chocolate cherry tomatoes that I love just eating right off the vine. So I put them back here in the backyard. You see how much rain we got, how that soil looks all white and runoff. And so this is how tall the onions are back here now. You can see more of them sprouting. And then you can see like the little walking onions, the seedlings coming up, and some more tall ones in this bucket over here. I replanted and potted my aloe and my Christmas cactus because they weren't doing so good, so I repotted them bad boys. Look, another pecan tree coming up. Everybody look, there's freaking pecan trees coming up. So these are the sunchokes that came back from last year, and this is some type of turnip. So I'm gonna just let it grow. That's my potato right there in that row. And then over here I put the last of those cucumbers from my dad's seeds. And then I put the hybrid pepper seeds. Most of them are right here. So we're gonna see if any of them come up. I don't know if all these seeds got washed away from all that rain we got, but we'll wait and see if we see anything coming up and go from there. So yeah, so as you can see, the tarp works. It keeps everything dead up under it. So that'll be getting tilled up that's gonna be the side with my squash and pumpkins and stuff. Y'all don't know, but a lot of squash when they're young, they're edible and they're sweet. So the cushaw are real nice and stir fries when they're young, before they get the hard skin. And so I'll be planting my cushaws and some other squash over there in about a week or two. I gotta check my moon phases and stuff, but yeah. So here are my two purple sweet potatoes that I'm gonna let them get my potato slips from them off out of this bucket. And who knows? Yeah, but I don't think this tree gonna make it, y'all. It might not. Who knows? It might rest this year, and then next year it come back and be fine and healthy, which will be good. But if it don't, then it was $15 at the Food Line. So you win some, you lose some. And so we have some potatoes finally starting to show themselves in this bucket. This one and a couple of other ones over here have potatoes in them. Oh yeah, here's the other one with potatoes. These are the red onions. I was amazed at how many. See, I got onions over here too from the red onions. I put onions everywhere. There were so many of them in that bag. So here's some more potatoes. As you can see, all the little potatoes sticking their little heads up. Oh, I don't know if these are flowers. I think these are flowers. What did I put in here? Slow boat cilantro. Oh, this is my cilantro. My cilantro is finally coming up. Good labor just stuff. And oh yeah, look, it finally flowered. Look at that. So yeah. Oh, there's the other potato bucket back there. See? It's got potatoes in it. But I do not see any of my callaloo coming up over here. Well, no, there's some. There's some right there. Starting to come up right there. So that's good. I'm not sure what that is. I'll let it live for now. No signs of my daughter's lettuce yet, so. This is the garlic. It's doing good. All the garlic's down here. The mammoth garlic, none of that has come up. These are those peas that I didn't think were gonna do nothing in this bucket. But they coming up. Thought it was my corn, but oh, there's my corn. Corn's coming up too. Right there. So little Miss Luna might have growing hands after all. So these are the radishes. Making great progress. There's the broccoli and the squash, and those are cucumbers from last year, and there's a couple of tomatoes over here, but that's the turnips down there coming up. So I'm going to show y'all, this is a volunteer tomato, right there. That's a volunteer tomato. And it's going to be those chocolate striped zebra tomatoes. That's what it's going to look like. And there's a couple of them over here. I'm just going to let a couple of them come up over here. And then the rest of them, I'll just thin them off because I don't need a bunch of them. This is our water gauge. My husband already dumped it out, but we had like three inches the other day. These are so pretty. I don't even remember what they are, but they self-seed and come back up, so that's cool. Oh, there's another. These are some onions right here. These are some onions that was in the kitchen. My daughter, she put them out here. Marissa. And they came up. Yeah. That's why I was taking the seedlings out. But there's another bean over here. I need to move over there with the other beans. Oh, that's a nice tomato right there. Okay, so that's another seedling right here. These are cherry tomatoes back here. That's where the cherry tomatoes were at. So I don't need no more cherry tomatoes. I might just pot them and give them away. On that corner where the broccoli is at, there was that real giant one. The one I got those real big, like almost 2-pound tomatoes from. And then over here was a nice slicing tomato one. So if I get some volunteers in these two corners, then I'm gonna try and save those. And there's like volunteer tomatoes in that brick where one of those cherry tomatoes is at, so I'll let them grow. I'll just put a cage over it. So yeah, I got to change my medium. I'm gonna go show y'all my pear tree. So the pear tree, can y'all see those? Got a nice set of pears this year. This is its second year, this pear tree. We bought it at Home Depot last year. So we might have to get something to put on some of them. I don't know. We're going to take this part. This fence is going to be coming down. I'm going to put the other azaleas and stuff over there. And that's it. And maybe I'll win the lottery and I could just find me a piece of land out in the country. My neighbors is a mile or two down the road. We can dream, can't we? Speak it into existence. And this potting bench was made by my friend Vicky's husband, Q. And when they moved to Texas, they gave it. This is one of the things that they gave to us, like all those bricks you see around the garden. Some of the I think one or two of those clay pots came from them. The little pavers that you see in the garden, and out here, like out here, the little pavers, those came from gifts from them before they moved. The little black fence up there at the front, that where we put across where the fence used to be before we take the other fence panel down, those came from them. And so yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reclaim my bricks that we put over there in that corner around the sun chokes. I'm going to reclaim those to use somewhere else in the garden, or like to put around. I want to get some rose bushes and put them around the rose bushes and stuff. Just stuff needs to be done, you know. But it's one day at a time. I'm only gonna do that little section of garden over there, but sometimes you start feeling better and you put out more. I just hope that as the summer and spring progresses, that I keep my energy levels stay up. I keep all this negativity away from me and ignore it. And they used to tell us, ignore ignorant people. So, and then just try to enjoy my yard. One of the reasons we bought this house was because it was on a double lot. Look at the birds out here stealing. Got 'em. I'm on my lunch break, and so it's nice to be able to just come out here and just chill, you know. And see, he's on my potato row. He's scratching on my potato row trying to find him some seeds. But those are the potatoes, and they down there deep. And I got to move those. That, I don't know if it's oregano or basil. I can't remember them. I think it's the basil. But I got to move that basil somewhere else because it keeps trying to go across the path. So I need to move it. And I want to move my mulch pile. I think I'm going to move them. We moved the mulch pile. The mulch pile used to be back there on the fence. But that ivy and that Virginia creeper kept getting into the mulch pile and basically taking all the nutrients that I'm trying to put in my garden. And the mulch pile, the creeper and stuff was taking it. So we have to, I think we have to, like, even if I put a pallet thing back there, this stuff will probably try to grow up in there. So I want to move the mulch pile. So maybe I'll put it up against the fence over here, under the fig tree. Like back, like with his back towards us, and the fig tree, so it'll still be in the sun, so the sun can help break down the compost. So move it over here, build a pallet. Mulching area. And I want to do some more stuff in my front yard. But people are so hateful and mean that they would think it's well within their rights to come into my yard and spray down my tree that I planted in my yard, because in their mind, the tree root's gonna grow into their basement or something. Even if it's a plant with a tap root, like a big tap root. It don't even have a lot of surface roots. It has big tap root. It don't even do a lot of surface roots, like a pine. It's a big tap root with some surface feeders, but not a lot. Not that would go over into somebody's basement wall. So that's the kind of stuff that I deal with here. That's why one of the reasons why I love my house and I love my yard. I love my house more when my daughter and them they bought their house from out of it. So I think they got like 14 more days before they take possession of the house, and then they move out all their stuff. And then I can just go ahead and just clean my house from the top to the bottom, from the attic to the basement, and just clean it from top to bottom, and do some painting, some little paint jobs and repair work and stuff, and get my house on the inside the way I want it to be. And then work on the outside some more too. Like we got some stuff we got to do around the front, like as far as painting and stuff like that. It's always something when you buy a house, so remember that. But if the opportunity arises where we can sell this house and the land is on, because if I was a developer and I bought this house, I would tear it down and put 3 of those skinny houses on this land. And then you just bought a property for X amount of dollars and you tripled the worth of it by tearing down this house and then putting 3 houses up and sell them 3 houses, right beside each other. Because we're on like 2 lots and a half a lot. I'm just tired of dealing with people. It's ridiculous. Like, who in their right mind gonna use a light pole as the property line? So when Dominion Power come out and they move the light pole, you thinking that your property line moved with the light pole. That's the kind of shit I'm dealing with, y'all. Instead of people understanding that, no, this is based on pins, on rectangular lots with pins. For each corner of the lot has a pin. And you follow that pin from one pin to the next. It's a straight freaking line. From the pin in the back of the property to the front of the property, it's a straight freaking line. It's a square. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a rectangle. Equilateral is not equilateral. You know what I'm saying? It's a rectangle. You got equal sides at the back and the front and equal sides on the sides. A rectangle. And all of a sudden, since this pin system was developed, this house been sitting here over 100 years on this lot. So all of a sudden, it's going to change because you said it did. That's what I'm dealing with. 100 years, this house, 120 some years, this house been sitting here, if not longer. And the pins have been the same for over 100 years. Yet just because you purchased the house next door, all of a sudden the pin's gonna change. And we had the land surveyed before we purchased the property. So we have our paperwork from the survey from when we purchased the property. And it matches the original surveys. You should go down to the courthouse and look at the original surveys. Nothing's changed with the pins in this neighborhood. Nobody has split a plat on this row. Nobody has merged any plats on this row. So nothing has changed. But I got to deal with that. And then it'll be on me to pay $400 and some to get the new survey done, even when I just had a survey done in 2006 and nothing's changed. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of crap I'm dealing with. Where you can't really have peace of mind and enjoy your land because somebody gonna mess with something that you plant or that you build. Like I can't even put a fence up in the front because they'll probably knock it down. And they drive up my driveway, across my yard, all the time, and park, so they can part way in front of their house, and they park it on the street, and it's only out of spite. That's the bull crap I have to deal with. And then they had the nerve to call us what they said? Say that we were being, what's the word she used? It wasn't an asshole. It was like, it's a word she used. But she said we were being, because we put a little temporary garden fence up in the front to stop people from driving up our driveway and driving across our yard. And she said that we were being, I don't know, it won't ratchet, but something similar. My daughter know what the word was. I was so mad I couldn't hear nothing. And the daughter, not their daughter, but the woman said that we were being, whatever the word is, for putting a fence across our yard to stop them from driving across our driveway and across our yard. Yeah. We're being unneighborly for stopping you from driving across our yard anytime you feel like it. But we're being unneighborly for putting a fence there to stop it from happening. We're being unneighborly because you having people who come work on your house driving across my yard, my front yard. This ain't the backyard. This is the front yard. Killing my grass, leaving tire marks when it's wet and muddy. And then I'm the one getting a notice from the city that it's not a driveway over there, and getting threatened with fines and stuff like that from other people driving across my yard. And then I tell the city what happened, and they say, well, put up a fence. And then I explain the situation about the fence, and they say, well, then just pay for another survey and then put a fence up. I said, you do not understand that these people will go over there and pull up my survey stakes as soon as it's turned dark. He said, well, then call the police. What are the police gonna do? Nothing. That's what I'm talking about. That's the crap I got going on around here. So, yeah. So I'd just rather move somewhere where I don't have no neighbors within a mile or two of me. And I ain't worried about the property line a mile off. You know what I'm saying? It's marked. It's a pin in the ground. If you go over, if I see somebody build something over it, then we'll have some words and you can get it resurveyed on your side. But, yeah. But up in the city, I'm not trying to get shot over the property line. I'm just going to probably quietly save up for my new fence, and then have that side of the yard fence, re-fence, taking it from the 6 foot, have the 6 foot, and then take it down to the 4 foot for across the front of the yard. And just on that side of the yard. Then on the other side, to take it from over here to the front, just the 4 foot, because I don't have no problems with my neighbors on the right. They're good peoples. We don't have no problems with the line. Their fence is on the line. We know where the line is at. Everything is cool. We cool. It's the other side. All right, my break is almost over, so y'all take care, and thank y'all for listening to my woes and whatnot. But it's life. Everything ain't perfect, but why do you have to deal? That's what I tell my husband. Why do we have to deal with stuff like this all the time? We don't bother nobody. And that's part of the problem. Probably we don't bother nobody. We keep our kids in our house. We keep our grandkids in our yard. We don't let our children roam the neighborhood, doing whatever they want to do, messing with people's stuff. We don't sit there and tell our children lies. If you're not sure about something, why are you going to tell your child something that's true? And then your child growing up thinking that it's real. And so then your child bragging to their friends when they walk by, being loud so that we can hear them say it about us trespassing on their land. We ain't never been over there in your yard, ever. One time we went over there. That's when when they first moved in, and the dad had got some crabs and stuff and gave them to us, and he gave me some callaloo plants to plant over here because he saw that our garden. That's the only time I ever been on their property other than leave vegetables and fruits and stuff on the porch. Whenever I would get too much stuff in my garden, I would share. But now I just share stuff with the lady down the street with the same name as me. I just share stuff with her. And I don't bother nobody else and don't want to be bothered. And my neighbor on my right, where that fence is right there, I told him anything that grows from the tree on that side, he welcome to it. You know, I said if you can beat the birds to it, you're welcome to it. And that's the other thing. If we've ever blessed with an influx of cash, when we move, I will be having a tree company come and lift that tree up. That tree will be going with me to my new home, my fig tree. If not, I'll donate it to a farm or something around here where it could keep growing and stuff, or donate it to a friend that farms or something like that. I don't know, but I know I'm not gonna leave it here. After all my hard work and time and love that I put into that tree, it needs to come with me or go where to someone who will love it and take care of it too. Because if we sell this house, the people are probably just gonna tear that tree down. They don't know what it is and don't care. They probably just cut it down or have it uprooted. You know. All right, y'all. I gotta go back inside and go back to work. Oh, and that's another story unto itself that I can't really talk about because I don't want to get fired. You know, just to say, just keep me in your prayers and thoughts. All right, y'all take care.